In the 17th century, the Indian subcontinent was dominated by the Mughal Empire and the Deccan Sultanates, powers with massive landmasses and heavy artillery. Shivaji's presence at this time was limited to a small inherited fiefdom centered around the Shivneri fort. This created a very specific military problem. How can a small faction survive the full attention of a superpower without matching their numbers in a head-on fight? The answer lay in the Western Ghats' steep slopes and flat-topped ridges. Imperial armies relied on heavy cavalry built for the plains. Here, those advantages disappeared. Deep valleys and narrow ridges became natural choke points, allowing a small, mobile force to trap much larger units. Shivaji survived by weaponizing this landscape, using the ground itself to change the rules of engagement. In 1659, the Bijapur Sultanate sent a veteran general, Afzal Khan, to crush the rebellion with a massive heavy cavalry. Shivaji withdrew to the forests of Pratapgarh, a location where cavalry could not maneuver. This forced Khan away from the open plains and into a bottleneck where his numerical superiority was effectively neutralized. During a private negotiation at the base of the fort, Shivaji anticipated a betrayal. He wore iron armor beneath his clothing and hid a bog nak, or tiger claw, on his left arm. When the struggle began, Shivaji used the concealed weapon to kill the general. With Khan dead, a signal cannon alerted hidden Maratha troops. They ambushed the leaderless Bijapuri army in the dense woods, where the imperial soldiers had no room to form their traditional battle lines. This strategy, known as Ganimi Kawa, demonstrated that decentralized psychological tactics could systematically dismantle a conventional military force. Capturing territory was only the first step. To sustain a state, Shivaji had to hold those gains against organized long-term sieges. He built a network of hill forts using a specific administrative design. To prevent bribery, he assigned 3 officers of equal status to every fort. They acted as mutual checks, ensuring no single traitor could deliver the stronghold to the enemy. To prevent naval blockades, Shivaji constructed marine forts like Sindhu Dork, extending his defensive line into the Arabian Sea. He staffed this new navy with coastal specialists and mercenaries, moving the military toward the sea, a direction land-centric powers had previously ignored. These fortifications and ships turned a collection of raiding parties into an entrenched state that was difficult to uproot. When the Mughal Empire focused its full power on him in 1665, Shivaji was forced to sign the Treaty of Purandar, surrendering 23 of his forts. He accepted tactical vassalage, temporarily submitting to Mughal authority to preserve his remaining forces and wait for a strategic opening. Summoned to the Mughal court in Agra in 1666, Shivaji was insulted by Emperor Aurangzeb and placed under house arrest behind these massive red sandstone walls. Locked inside a hostile city, he couldn't use force. He had to use the court's routines against themselves. He feigned a severe illness and began sending large baskets of sweets out of the gates as penance for the poor. Once the guards grew accustomed to the routine and stopped checking the containers, Shivaji and his son hid inside the baskets and were carried out of the city. He returned to his territory and quickly recovered his lost forts. This escape showed that strategic patience was as vital as military success. By the 1670s, Shivaji held military power, but he still lacked a legal title. To his enemies, he was simply a rebellious landlord. Local religious authorities refused to crown him because of his agricultural origins. They argued that only those with a recognized warrior or kshatriya lineage were eligible for kingship. To bypass this, Shivaji summoned a scholar from Varanasi to prove his lineage and officiate a formal coronation in 1674. This ceremony at Raigad Fort legally established him as the Chhatrapati, the sovereign monarch of his realm. This title changed the political reality. It secured the loyalty of the Maratha people and established his state as a sovereign power equal to the surrounding empires. As king, Shivaji established the Ashta Pradhan, a council of 8 ministers. This shifted the burden of administration away from a single leader, delegating specific duties like finance and foreign policy to specialized advisors. He promoted Marathi and Sanskrit in his court, but maintained a policy of religious tolerance. He protected mosques and kept Muslim commanders in his high-ranking military units. These 4 elements, Mobile tactics, network defenses, diplomatic patience, and delegated rule provided the technical foundation of his state. Shivaji engineered an institutional system that survived his death, providing the framework for the Maratha Empire for the next century.